Reload. Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
I'm ready. Paul's ready. We are ready. It's been a polarizing week in comic books. It's been very dramatic stories that have released, some shocking moments in many of these titles. Some controversial books have been created this week with Punisher Red Band. Are your kids old enough to read R-rated comics? Very controversial topic. It's been a lot of stuff. So we're going to try to wind down and decompress from such a emotional ride through the pool list this week. So we're going to try to have a good time. Enjoy talking about the enemies.
I heard the Red Band is PG-13.
Oh, I hope my mom's not watching this. She might get mad at me. The Emmys are live right now. Paul's watching them on his end. As I was just telling him right before we went live, my phone is unfortunately tied to Monkey's TV right now, so I can't turn it on without the volume being loud. So Paul's going to keep us updated along the way to good news about that. But we got Peacemaker episode 4 to talk, Alien Earth episode 6, a brand new Punisher series, all kinds of stuff. I'm glad that you're here with us. Hit the thumbs up and let's play this one. Which, for those of you that know, it's the one that we always play. And since we played that, let's do this. Be sure to check out the description to find some awesome links to some amazing people in this phenomenal hobby called comic books, including online retailer Big Time Collectibles, Justin Comics cleaning and pressing services. Be sure to let them know you found it via the channel. And if you need to set up a pool list so you never miss out on new comic books and get these phenomenal stories in your mailbox, check out ABX Comics and Games. If you're not in the Augusta area, you can still reach out to them via the link in the description, set up a pool list. They do free shipping on orders over $100. Keep in mind, they are the community's comic shop.
BTC was doing a lot of Jang stuff this week.
They were. I guess because of NYCC. Yeah, a lot of exciting stuff coming for NYCC. That's coming fast. About a month out, I think.
Yeah, in October.
No, Baltimore. One of the ones up there is right before Comics Curing Cancer. And then I guess NYCC is even before then, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Got my gears churning. What is going on? The amazing, the awesome, the adventurous Joseph Michael is in the building. Is it eagle hunting time now? What is going on, Las Cruces? Good to see you.
Starts October 9th.
When is it?
October 9th to the 12th, NYCC.
So you have that. You have Baltimore or Terrificon or the other one after. Golly, October's packed. Packed. Definitely packed. Cowabunga to you, Ruby G. Good to see you in here. Stephen with a C. What is going on, brother? How are you? Billy, what's up, my dude? Good to see you in here. Hey, I didn't even talk to you yet, Billy, since Punisher. I'm assuming that you got a chance to read it. Let me know if you got a chance to read it or not, Billy. I know that I shot you the link to showed you the picture of the covers that I picked up and shot you the link to my review, but I haven't talked to you about it since. So I'm interested to see your thoughts. Entropy in Comics, what is going on? Greetings to you, brother. Hello. Warlord, what is up, James? Billy said, don't watch the Emmys, don't trust Hollywood. Oh, neither does any of us. But it's one of those things where when you participate in the shows and movies that you enjoy, you watch what you like. You enjoy it, you keep watching it. But then when the awards come around, you still want to see your team win.
Right.
Because the more that my team wins, the more I think Hollywood is fixing itself. The more they don't call my stuff the best stuff ever, the more I know that they're full of crap and not worth trusting. That's the fun part about it.
That's sportsmanship in a shell right there.
101. Yeah, 101. Exactly. That's how it works.
If my people don't win, it's fixed.
It's always the case. They take the referees off. There's no other explanation. Kevin knows. That's how it goes. But the Emmys are tonight. What are the Emmys, Paul? We can tell you with confidence it's the 77th anniversary.
Correct. They are the awards for everything television, including streaming, including cable channels, everything television.
So this is the Oscars for television.
Correct.
And the Golden Globes just kind of blend the two together, right?
Correct. Golden Globes it's put on by the Hollywood Foreign Press, and they do both television and movies. together.
Billy, do we trust them? Foreign press. Do we trust the foreign press more or less than the Hollywood press?
Well,
I'm gonna go on a limb and say we don't trust any of
the
them. but which
Oscars and the
ones are
Emmys are
more?
done by the Television Academy of Arts and Sciences and the Motion Picture Academy of Arts and Sciences. So it's basically voted on by although some journalists can be members of them, it's voted on by basically other
The committee, yeah.
actors, directors, whatever within television and or
Yeah.
movies.
You know what's funny is like you have us out here as consumers, as paying customers. Like you have to impress us for your stuff to be financially successful, and we were like, we should be voting on these things. But then you probably the conversations had by the people in the industry that are actually air quotes here artists. They're probably like, what would they know about the art? Like they can enjoy it, sure, but can they truly appreciate the art for the art form that goes into it? I think we can. I think we can. And I think if they don't nominate and select our preferred movies and shows as the winners, then they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, he's not working the Emmys this year. My daughter is working it there her first year. There you go. Passing the torch. Oh. Yeah, I know that. I think about you every single Saturday because Saturday is when I watch it. 9 times out of 10, it's Saturday or Sunday morning when I watch real time. And I think about you every single time I turn it on for over a year and a half now, Kev, since you shared that you got to do a production stuff on that program. Absolutely love that show. I've watched it for so freaking long now. I can't even tell how long it's been.
Severance just won for an outstanding actress.
For which one? Redhead?
Yeah, the redhead. Yeah.
Redhead. We just call her Red.
But Patricia Arquette was actually supporting actress. She lost.
Okay, she lost. That's not cool. What else is one you said the studio is? Dude, Apple is about to sweep.
Yeah. Seth Rogen won outstanding actor and for a comedy. So he won, and then supporting actor was that guy. I can't think of his name now, but
he was it. Well, let's name him so people will understand. He is the submarine admiral from Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Right. Exactly. He won for his role in Severance, which he is phenomenal in. It's like Mr. something with a T.
Yeah, and he was the guy that was in charge of the marching band, and
yes, yeah. Mr. Milchek. It's right. Tramlin Tillman. I knew it was the T. Tramlin Tillman. Yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal in both things that I've seen him in so far. With Mission Impossible, he brought that same energy. Mm-hmm. He drips cool somehow. Some people just have that aura of cool, and he's got it.
Right, and again, now that's that woman who plays the daughter of the corporate owner,
Britt Lower.
Yep,
she plays Helly.
Yep.
Yeah.
She just won.
Yeah, Daichin Latchman plays Miss Casey, Adam Scott's wife. Mm-hmm. That actress has always had like this look about her that just like you look like you're up to something. She has a very wild look. Still working with Bill, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. Like I've seen every single one of his specials. Going back all the way to the Bush years, dude. Like he's just been. I don't know what it is. There's always loved Bill. Always love Bill. I don't agree with Bill on everything, but I absolutely love Bill. What is going on, Bryant? Good to see you in here, homie. All those custom emojis. You get access to those, by the way, by hitting that join button. Yesterday, I was working America's Funniest Home Video first episode for season 36. I've been working since first season. That's crazy, bro.
Bob Saget years.
Dude, Bob Saget. Then they had Dave Coulier right after him. And then you had Carlton take it over for a while.
But there was Tom Bergeron was in the middle there. He did it before he did Dancing with the Stars. Dude, Funny, Alfonso Ribeiro took over for Tom Bergeron twice.
Twice, yeah. Dude, I remember I have really vivid memories of coming home in the evening, sitting down right here, like getting some cheese sandwiches or something, having dinner, watching America's Funniest Home Videos before bed. And I remember Rescue 911 would come on after that. Not saying on the same channel, but we would want to stay up and watch Rescue 911. Do you remember that show where they dramatized 911 operator calls and stuff? Mm-hmm. We have a sliding glass door on the house, and there's this episode I remember where a kid was leaning back in their seat and they fell back, but they went through the sliding glass door and critically got injured. And the only other episode that stands out like that is the four-wheeler riding around in the pasture and running into a wire that they couldn't see, and the barbed wire piercing them straight in the throat, and them having to do one of those things right there on the scene.
Tracheotomy?
That's it. Yeah. Doctor said I need a bacchiotomy. But yeah. Do you think Apple's going to sweep tonight?
I don't know. It's looking good. Oh, we could get that. Catherine O'Hara could win next for the studio.
Okay. She was good in that. She's tough in that.
Yeah.
What's the category they're on right now?
This is supporting actress for a comedy. It was not Catherine O'Hara. I'm trying to see. This person is in probably something I haven't. May have been Shrinking, but I'm not sure.
Oh, check this out. Kev's been on Price is Right, Family Feud, Wheel of Fortune.
Wow.
That's really fun. And do they do all these pretty much at the same studio, or are you just like a union, like freelance guy or something? All right. Well, while he thinks about that, dude, there's a lot of great comics to talk about this week. I'm excited to talk about them all. We also have a brand new episode of Peacemaker. The Perillo cover.
Yeah.
There it is. Let's see it. God, that's gorgeous. I was talking, me and Paul were recording the DC Deep Dive, and I was showing him my copies of Blue Falcon and talking about it. This probably show it better with a non-foil. But man, Blue Falcon and Dynamite #1 came out this week. I am just super excited, super happy with what Dynamite has been doing with this resurgence of the Hanna-Barbera characters. Herculoids, Johnny Quest, Space Ghost, Blue Falcon and Dynamite, brand new #1 this week. Tons of great covers, and Dynamite's upping their game. They've had Matina through controversy, held on to Matina, but they've had Lenzner doing covers for Herculoids, Bjorn Barons doing covers on all of them. They brought Lucio Perillo come in to do A covers, it looks like. I thought that Matina had the A covers, but I believe that the Perillo is the A cover, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the A cover.
Golly, that's wild. And I love seeing, now I was looking at it, I'm like, look at Dynamite. He's done like a traditional dog by Perillo. And then in the Matina, you have like the souped up Dynamite with all the gadgets and stuff. I'm like, huh. And then I read #1 and I'm like, oh my God. Did you read it yet?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was good. I really liked it. It was it was kind of funny because there's some, if you know the history of Blue Falcon and Dynamite or Blue Falcon, there's some like inside Easter eggs that
Hit
are
me
there.
with some of them.
The one that stuck out to me the most is, do you remember when he's talking and he says that, people say that he has the voice of a game show host?
Yes.
Right. Well, the guy who originally did the voice of Blue Falcon was Gary Owens, who did game shows in the 70s. And he also was the guy famous for he was in Laugh-In. He did Laugh-In as well.
Okay.
He was the guy that would always put his hand to his ear and talk into the microphone. And
had to grab some Blue Falcon goodness. Yeah. Is Blue Falcon and Dynamite more mature like Space Ghost? I would say yes. I would definitely say yes. So Blue Falcon can, in my opinion, I didn't know which direction they would go with it. For one, I love that the trade dress is traditional. It's kind of bubbly. It's Hanna-Barbera welcoming. That being said, there's elements of this guy being a player, like the girl he just got done laying with the night before wakes up and they have the morning discussion and hang out and stuff while she's still in her towel. So there's elements and themes like that. This is a spoiler show, so just let you know, the dog gets brutally shot by some corporate thieves, some corporate espionage going on in the end of this, where they go into his company thinking that they're going to go rob some stuff, and Dynamite hears him and he goes out there and he gets shot down, and the act of him getting shot down makes Blue Falcon see red, and Blue Falcon repays them in kind. Like it's definitely not overbearing. This is not a red band book, but this is not something I'd be like, hey, Finn, check this out, because Finn would not want to see a dog get shot. Finn doesn't need to see this guy's naked girlfriend coming out of the shower after he banged her the night before. So it's handled where it's not gratuitous, if that makes sense. It's classy and it's kind of got a more casual air to it. But the end, when it turns up, it goes pretty hard. So so far, I would definitely put it on par with Space Ghost and Tone. Really, all of them. Herculoids is there's no reason for you to call it R. It's not something like that, but it's definitely all of these seem to be aimed at older teenagers to adults.
Yeah.
I think that they know their audiences.
It's rated teen.
Oh, there you go. Hey. Yeah, I saw that. She just got home from playing with ferrets at her job. So if you're ever in the Augusta area, remember T-Bones has rats.
Okay.
It was outside. We didn't bring it inside.
Was it someone's pet?
Yeah.
Okay, someone brought their pet ferret.
Yeah.
So now for the next 37 days, I have to listen to her ask me to get a ferret.
We can't have a
Is it-
ferret because Abe will eat it.
Is it an emotional
But one
support
day.
ferret?
That's a good question. Was it emotional support ferret?
Yeah. He snuggled me and made my day worth it. Little head laid
Oh,
right here.
no, he's your emotional support ferret now.
Yeah. That's why he was outside.
No. But yeah, I would say that Dynamite's doing a great job. This is Jimmy Palmiotti wrote this.
Yeah. Yep.
I had no clue till right this second when I just picked it up and looked.
Yep.
Jimmy Palmiotti wrote this. I think they have a firm understanding of who the target audience is, who, for the most part, like I feel like I'm a little bit of an anomaly. You know, I'm in my 30s, but I grew up with Hanna-Barbera stuff because my dad was a big fan of it. So it's stuff that I watched growing up because it was on television. It was syndicated. It was on Cartoon Network and stuff. He had like, when it finally got to a point of the DVDs being a thing, like we were buying DVDs and stuff. But so I feel like it's kind of on brand for the fans who were fans of it before. But it's also written in a sense that if you're trying it out, you would probably have no reason to not like it. It would just be different strokes for different folks. Is this your flavor kind of thing? But it is it's well done. It's really well done.
Like Space Ghost is not for the people who only know Space Ghost from Space Ghost at Night. It's for the people
This
who
isn't
remember.
coast to coast. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, it is made for the people who remember him from the 70s, or whatever, in his cartoon. So.
And I was thinking about that during that first Space Ghost 12 issue arc, because the pace that they went through, how they took all of his most iconic villains and did single issue features and then brought them all in. Like the first half of it is just getting them all in there and then putting them all together for the second half. I'm like, dude, how aren't these all each like an overarching villain? But I see what they did, and that was pretty clever. They really established them. And and to that point, Space Ghost came out this week. Did you get a copy of Space Ghost?
I did not. That's arriving with my monthly shipment.
Boom.
Bettina, I think I got the Bjorn Barons cover, I think.
Nice. Yeah, I think Chris Samney, Bjorn Barons, Matina, again, Jay Lee is the other one that are like the regular artists. I don't know if Samney's still on them, but Jay Lee, Barons, and Matina are like, these are just incredible. Like his style translating over to the Hanna-Barbera characters, I just never seen them done like this before, and it's just absolutely captivating. It's just I find myself looking at them for extended periods of time, and that's what you want from a good cover. Like it really calls out. But in this one, we get introduced to another Space Ghost character, Eclipse Lady. It's a old femme fatale frenemy of his that's out to it's the Catwoman of the Space Ghost world. You know, the villain you hate to love kind of woman gets into a little skirmish with some cartel people. Space Ghost trying to shut her down. She operates as a cat burglar with one of his quantum bands that she stole back in the early days before he was so established as Space Ghost. And her cat burglaring led to an energy creature being released unintentionally, so they all have to team up, fight together to save the city from it. Ultimately, her having to sacrifice her band to stop the creature, but she does. And while they're discussing if you think she'll ever turn over a new leaf, this ghost cruiser flies off where she stole it. See you later, chumps. it was fun. It was really good. What's up, Sledge? Ferrets are just skunks that look like weasels. Yeah, and they don't fart as much, from what I understand. They don't fart as much. Yo, Absolute Batman is the book that Paul and I were recording ahead of time for the DC deep dive. I got to tell y'all, like, and we mentioned it on there, like, wondering how they're going to elevate this story after that single issue Bane explanation that we got was going to be tough. They absolutely did it. The whole explanation of Batman's rogues, his friends group, goes down a dark, twisted, brutal path, and Paul and I go page by page through it. So be sure to check out the DC Deep Dive tomorrow at 10 a.m. to keep up with all the absolute stuff, which every single issue, every single installment, and the whole thing, every week we're chugging right along. That airs at 10 a.m. on Mondays. So if you hit the description below, you can subscribe to Sector 2815, who recently just passed 500 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Did you get an email from YouTube yet?
I did not. I'm wondering if maybe even though I get 500, I may not have enough viewing hours.
No, that's a 1,000 thing. No, they email you in their own time, man.
Okay.
They email you in your own time. It's one of those things. Might have to be a couple number past it, like a little cushion period before it triggers the automated email system.
They don't want to give it to you and then have you drop back down to $4.98.
Yeah, $4.99 is acceptable. $4.98, no, not okay.
We all have none of that.
Good evening, madam. How are you doing this evening? So are the Emmys on and football is on?
Yes.
What a tough night for people.
Yeah.
Tough night. Yo, another one that I got to tell you is in the top of my stack for this week, Paul, that I absolutely enjoyed. It's the Aquatic Wonder, the King of DC. Aquaman, issue number 9 by Jeremy Adams is out this week. This was great. It's kind of like our epilogue to the first 8 issues, which was him, the disappearance of Atlantis and his people, him having to go through a portal deep into the blue. We now have a Parliament of the Blue, exploring this whole place and having to deal with this godlike entity called Dagon, however you want to pronounce it, meeting Captain Nemo proper, Arion's return, Lilith's return, Lillian, the Lady in the Water, all these people finding his people that have aged. Time down there went by so much faster. Mira's death, meeting his daughter Andy, grown to a young lady, an older teenager, fighting them all off, and then coming out the other side. He's been able to harness the blue. He's leveled up. He is definitely leveled up. He was already a powerhouse.
Superman powered leveled up.
Bro, he comes back out, comes to talk to the Justice League. Some stuff and things were going on, and Superman was having a little bit of a crisis of person and throws a punch, and people are like, oh crap, and just a hand comes out and catches Superman's hand. Mm-hmm. I'm like, let's freaking go. But he shaved the beard, so we have like a very, very classical, very rebirth era looking Aquaman now. And he's got the new trident that shifts to the sword, which is just, there's so much cool lore that Jeremy Adams has added into this now. He has the hydrokinesis thing going on, which they explored in the earliest issues. But what a great issue. I'm looking forward to see where it goes. We had a huge stinger at the end on the last page. It looks like Mira is alive, so I'm curious who the people were that he experienced in the blue, because Andy, his child, the older version of his child, is still with him right now. Mm-hmm. So does that mean his regular age, his baby, is still with Mira? Yeah,
and there was this awkward moment with Superman over Lori Laramus.
Yeah. He didn't want to talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I was kind of curious with him bringing these people out of the blue back into the world proper, if these, like, are these the same people? We only have the one Mira left. The old Mira died, but we have the older version of his kid. So that's weird. I'm ready to explore it to see what's what with it. Who's up, Paul?
Sal Saperstein did not win. Jeff Hiller won supporting actor in a comedy series for Somebody Somewhere.
I hadn't heard of that one.
Me either.
Huh. Did you pick up the new Punisher this week?
I did not.
Well, that was a big deal. It was a big deal for Punisher fans.
From your video.
Yeah, it's the return of Frank Castle. It's a controversial character only to Disney and really weird people on the internet. I don't think Punisher is a very controversial character to most people, to normal people, to people who buy comics on a regular basis. But he's a fan favorite. There's no way around it. Frank Castle is a fan favorite. He's been in 3 separate movies, numerous animated appearances throughout the years, and then most notably, he was on the Netflix Daredevil show that spun out into its own television show for 2 seasons, and then he returned under the Disney banner during his, what some would call his cancellation period under Disney. He returned, and they knew that they're at the point where they're desperate, thank God. They're so desperate that they're they're done canceling their own characters, I guess, because they let John Bernthal come back, who's probably been the highest praised actor to play Frank Castle. He's definitely the most qualified. John Bernthal is a hell of an actor. And he's about to have another appearance in an upcoming Spider-Man film. So I guess it was only right that they brought him back into the comics.
And his own Disney Plus special.
Oh, yeah. What do they call those things? Do they call them one-shots or spotlights? Or
Yeah, I think it's just, this one's just, I think, the Punisher special, I think. So.
Remember how when they did the Man Thing or the Werewolf by Night, they called it like the Spotlight or something? It had its own little unique intro. That was pretty cool. But I'm excited for it. I didn't care for the Daredevil show, not 2 bits. Maybe I might have cared for it 1 bit, definitely not 2 bits. The first episode was tough as nails. They brought Frank in just as fan service, and they did a terrible job. John Bernthal can act amazingly, but it just made the rest of the show look worse to me. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited for this book. One thing that happened with the Punisher, the last time we saw Frank Castle was during the Jason Aaron run, which a lot of people got pissed off about. I think that some people don't necessarily. I think they stopped critical thinking too soon with some things. Something happens and they're like, I don't like the sound of that. So they stop thinking and don't allow the writer to tell the story. They just stopped at the front end of it saying, I don't like the sound of that. Well, how does it play out? You know, he was working with the Hand, never once under the impression that he agrees with what the Hand does the entire time, telling them, once we accomplish this mission, I'm going to kill all of y'all too. Like there was never any question of, oh, it's like Captain America being Hydra. That's crazy. What more is there to that? You know, but in this, it was Punisher's working for the Hand. And we know right off the bat, he's going to take advantage of their resources to rid the world of these big criminals, and he's going to turn on them. And they were convinced that he is this deity of death, which they rose this deity of death. It was really interesting. What upset a lot of people was the Hand had some leverage over him. They used some dark magic to bring Maria, his wife, back from the dead. It wasn't his wife proper. It wasn't his wife whole. It was like this bastardized version of his wife, but he was still a little, you know, like, dude, I still like, I want to protect her to see is this my wife proper? He didn't know, working his way to it. And because she looked at what he's done in his time since her passing as a terrible thing to go around and kill these people. This isn't justice, Frank. It's vengeance. This isn't right. And there are people like, oh, she would never say that. She would never, like, it's also a reanimated corpse of his wife from black magic and like decomposed cowhides. Like, why are we even pretending like anything she says is valid? Like that part is what I never understood, why anyone took what she said as valid. And then his symbol, he was wearing a hand symbol thing, and everyone's like, oh, they're afraid to use the skull. He had his vest the entire time in that thing on a literal shrine, like waiting to get back to it. So I never took all the offense to it that everyone else did. It was beautifully drawn. It was a dynamic story. But at the end of it, he pretty much goes into like this other realm where he's like protecting these kids and stuff. So I was wondering how they're going to get him out of there. Well, Benjamin Percy wrote this first issue, and it just starts with him on a boat. No memory, having just like wrecked these dudes that were shipping fentanyl. Exactly, Pops. Exactly. But he can't remember exactly who he is. He feels like he had a wound in his head, and we find out at the end that there's a chip in his head. Wilson Fisk has put it there. Fisk is on a punishment mission, and we don't know why Fisk is, what he's up to. We don't know necessarily how Frank got back. We know that there's something to it. And as Benjamin Percy writing it, he just did this exact same thing for Johnny Blaze, bringing him back after a while, going through the Marvel Now era of like, what's his name with the car? How am I blanking this? Robbie Reyes and all that. They brought Johnny back where he had been like pretty much in like, I don't know, like a demonic version of the Infinite Crisis Paradise kind of thing. He had a demonic worm embedded in his head that had him kept in this illusion that he had to tear out and get out. So it's kind of the exact same thing. Benjamin Percy is phenomenal at writing comics, and he's also phenomenal at writing the same story with a different character. And he does it with Nightwing, with Ghost Rider. You see this thing where he does this race up Devil's Mountain and almost everything he does. Now with Punisher, he's doing the thing in the head memory thing, just like he did with Ghost Rider, which is fine. It's an easy plot device. He's painted it different, attached different characters, and it was a great issue. It was super violent. Not Black Mask, look at me. Tombstone was in it. After the shipment of fentanyl got destroyed, he wants to know which of the rival gang members could have had something to do with it. So the 5 leaders of them are hung up in a meat locker, and he comes in there. He's like, just to let y'all know, so there's no miscommunication. None of y'all are leaving here alive, but you might not have to suffer so much pain. And he just takes a meat cleaver and hits a guy in the arm, and then just grabs his skin and starts slow pulling it off while he's asking him questions. I'm like, this is nuts. That's why it's red band. It wasn't, they still bleeped out the cuss words and stuff. There was no nudity, but it was wild. I'm super interested to see where it goes from here. Excited to be excited for a Marvel book. Doesn't happen often. I only give them 3 chances to begin with, but Punisher, Ghost Rider, or Hulk. That's all you get from me. I'll give him a shot. Let's see how long you can keep me. But number 1 was great. Really enjoyed it. Fast paced. Curious to see where the story goes. Good job, Benjamin Percy. Now put him back on Ghost Rider at the same time, and we'll be doing fine. Because we don't have a Ghost Rider book. It's weird. We can't get a good Punisher book and Ghost Rider at the same time. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's one or the other. One or the other. Doesn't make sense. What is going on, Metal Elf? Good to see you, homie. Kenny B, what is going on? Mike Zeck did one of the covers. I think it's one of the ratios. It might have been the 1 in 50. The 1 in 25 was Gleason. So I think the Mike Zeck was 1 in 50, if I'm not mistaken. But he got the cover for one, that's for sure. I picked up some different covers. Oh, about that. The Blue Falcon, I grabbed the ratio, the Virgin variant ratio. That's going in the Legion loot this month for the channel member giveaway for those in the Legion tier. So with the Punisher, y'all know me. I got to support one of the legends. I got the Frank Miller cover, which is like a logo cover, but with all these dead guys. And Matt up at the bookstore pointed out, like, Frank Miller didn't want to draw faces, so he just blood splotted over everyone's faces. It was kind of accurate.
Squatting.
Absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely love Frank Miller, dude. That's fantastic. I haven't opened that one yet, but I got the foil logo proper, foil front and back, red band. That's going in the Legion loot this month as well. So there's some cool stuff coming. I'm trying to pick it up as it goes. And then I got some more stuff that I ordered through ABX. Should be here the next week. Should be. I ordered it. I wrote up there on Friday and ordered it. So it'll either be here. It should be here Thursday then, I'm guessing. Tombstone has a similar power set to Luke Cage. Bulletproof. Super strong. Crazy. Yeah. What's another good one that you read this week, Paul? Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at that. And what is your middle finger covering up right there on the front? What is your left hand covering up? What does that say?
It is the First Ghost Prelude.
Prelude to First Ghost. Brad Meltzer series we've been waiting over a year for. Mm-hmm. And look, she made the back cover too. Very interesting. There's no
about
the
War of 1812 and the burning of the White House in Washington, and
First Lady Madison saving
the painting of George Washington.
Yeah, it was a fun issue. Him just running around a White House with the First Lady, President Madison's wife, trying to salvage the all too large and all too heavy painting of George Washington, but he earned every pound of it. Mm-hmm. It's funny knowing Simon's history with George Washington, what he knows of the guy, and her point of view of it. Him like, oh, so you know? Like, she's like, what are you talking about? Never mind. But it was pretty much, that was the whole issue. He got into a little fight with what's his name, Cockburn?
Yep.
General Cockburn, who lit and his men for a minute. It was a good issue, but I think the implications of what at the end of this issue were the biggest deal, because we had a huge cliffhanger, huge reveal with the lightning strike.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. After the fires went out, the storms rolled in, everyone was away from the burning building. A massive lightning bolt comes down right on what remains. And
who is there?
Riding the lightning in both hands, none other than George Washington. You know, we were honey-dicked by Benedict Arnold in the first story arc to think that George Washington was alive and the big bad guy, but it was really Benedict Arnold playing trick on him. But now George Washington is back proper. And what does he say? I don't think he gets any dialogue. Did he have dialogue on the next page?
Yeah, he talks about the unnamed, the unknown war. So he says, perhaps if I revealed myself, all this would end, but no. The unknown war, buried beneath the stars and stripes, may still rise. Yeah.
So I'm thinking he might not be a bad guy. And he makes a comment about how Simon's kind of like squandering the ability that he fell into.
Mhm.
And then the end is in modern time. It's in the White House with the president, which is that lady with the blonde hair that we don't know anything about yet, other than just her character profile page that was given to us over a year ago. And it's her talking to her son about a picture that's on the wall of Simon Pure, but no one knows his name. No one knows who's there. They just know that First Lady Madison demanded that he have a picture on the wall as helping save the painting of George Washington. And every president that's come since then has always asked, who is that? So there's all these myths and lore about him. Why was he wearing a red coat? Well, some say he put it on to infiltrate Cockburn's army to save the painting. Some say he was a disgruntled British soldier that came and fought for us, and we just don't really know. But there's nothing in there that teased us about the actual first ghost aspect of the story. Just saw the characters, but we did have one of the staffers come in and ask the president to come. We need you to come check out some of this information we have on these strange events that have been happening. We don't know what that's in reference to. Is it in reference to the unnamed war kicking off? Is it in reference to Junkyard Joe? He's really the only character or anything we know that exists in modern time when that takes place. Simon Pure's there, but he's kind of like Black Ops. Right. We don't even know. He Black Ops for the founding fathers, not even Black Ops for necessarily the government. So we don't know. I still love how much the Ghost Machine universe is slow rolling at a good pace, where like every now and then you get these major moments where it gives you so much to think about and want to know answers about, but it's not like it's not like a major thing. Like George Washington appeared. We don't know anything about him, but that's huge. The president we see for the first time, we don't know anything about it, but it's still huge. It's these little crumbs have so much meaning to them.
Right. With the most unexpected year in Simon Pure's long life beginning in the next issue.
Which will be a three-issue story arc called 1909. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. to see what it is. You know what? Every time I read an issue of Geiger, I'm like, man, I think this is my favorite Ghost Machine book right now. Then every time I read an issue of Redcoat, I'm like, nope, this is the one. This is it. They're both just so well done. It's ridiculous. But I still think Redcoat's the one. I just love that history aspect. Mm-hmm. It's just cool. Check that out. Metal Elf won a Hulk 181 CGC 3.0 from Jim Mint Collectibles today. That's awesome, dude. How'd you pull that off? Do you have like the live stream giveaway? I gave away a Hulk 180, and I think it was a CGC 5.0. That was like a year and a half ago now. I kept my 181. That was a little bit harder to acquire. Bought it with change. It takes a long time to save change up to buy a Hulk 181.
That's right.
It's a $2,500 book. Dude, that's awesome, though. I don't think there's a cooler book to win. Maybe an Action Comics 1. It's definitely one of those clout books that even if you're not a Hulk fan, even if you're not a Wolverine fan, it's one of those ones that you want in the collection. It's like an achievement book. Mm-hmm. But yeah, super congrats, dude. That's amazing. Live stream gives. That's awesome.
Nice.
It's a massive giveaway. Hulk 181 and a 3.0. That's got to be like a $1,200 to $1,500 book, probably. That's a big.
Probably
big,
at least, yeah.
That's awesome. Huge win. What else did you read this week, Paul? What's next on the hit list? Green Lantern Corps number 8, the Battle Royale on Planet We're So Sad.
Exactly.
Yeah, at the end of the last issue, we had our Corps members go into the source wall and find the actual emotional spectrum entities that power their respective batteries. Their batteries are gone. They're trapped in the source wall. So all of our lanterns are tethered to separate entities so that they're able to be powered up. And they figured out the only way to stop the Starbreakers is to separate their rings from their users, meaning we're going around chopping hands off. So they take the fight to the Starbreakers on their home world where their power battery is. And it's just a nonstop action issue. It was really fun. We have Kyle roll in. Wasn't it Kyle that went into the power battery?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so while they're fighting, I think it was Kyle that went into the the Starbreaker power battery and broke it and shut it down. And about that time, the Starbreaker's like, we got to get out of here. So they're like, bail, take it straight to Oa, and let's go hit them in the heart of their stuff. So they're on their way back to Oa, where
Actually, it wasn't Kyle. It was Sorrow. That's how Sorrow.
Oh, it was that's right. It was Sorrow that went in there.
He finally redeems himself. Realizes that he was doing the wrong thing.
Nice. Yep. Well, he shut it down, and then the Starbreakers took off to go try to take the fight to Oa because it wasn't going good where they were at, and they wanted to go shut down the source of their powers, not knowing that their source isn't there.
Right.
They got a power battery. They were going to show up and find out it's not on. So the next issue is a big fight there, while Kelly, aka Teen Lantern, is about to find out that this gauntlet she's had that gives her the ability to make constructs and tap into the emotional spectrum is not what she's thought for these past 3-4 years.
It's gone right now, and it's on the arm of Simon Baz, or is it Krona?
Yeah, Krona. Going back to some old school GL stuff here.
Yeah, that's
going back to the 1980s.
Yeah, Krona goes all the way back to the origin of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. He was the one who wanted to know. He's the one that had that hand come through.
Yeah. Some good stuff. Is the next issue the finale to the Starbreaker Supremacy storyline?
No, 2 more. This was part 4 of 6.
Hey guys, have you running in the background while I'm recording next week's videos? Nice. Turok 1 is the real achievement book. Yeah. Get your priorities straight, Joe. Yeah. Valiant or Gold Key? Valiant. Well, I've got over 300 copies of Valiant. But I only have 1 copy of the Golden Age first appearance of Turok right here. But yeah. I'm up to over 300 copies. Stephen with a C sent me a few copies this week that I just got in. So I appreciate that. Yeah, anybody watching, if you ever come across Turok 1s, feel free to send them my way. I'm just trying to keep them safe for all of us. That's all. Just doing my duty.
Someday, or in the future, when currency is actually Turok 1s.
Yeah, when
you'll be a billionaire.
When we barter and trade for chromium covers, I'm gonna be doing all right. Darkhawk 1 is the holy grail. It was for a little while there, wasn't it? And then, I remember during the COVID bubble that little fun little chase got so strong that even Sleepwalker 1 started getting some bleed over. And now, the recoiling of the COVID bubble, it's like people don't even understand the importance of Darkhawk 1. How you're not even supposed to collect more than a short box of comics without putting a Darkhawk 1 in there for safety purposes. At any point, a long box of comics can spontaneously combust if a Darkhawk 1 is not in close enough proximity. It's not even safe. It's not even safe. You gotta watch yourself. Did you bail on the Transformers Energon stuff, or are you still pulling that stuff? Yeah, thought you might have. A lot of people have. I commend a lot of people for trying it out. This was the big finale to Daniel Warren Johnson's time on the title. It started out with Daniel Warren Johnson writing and drawing it, which is interesting. His best work is always done inside the completely original stories that he tells and comes up with out of his own mind. He's done some phenomenal stuff under the DC Comics Black Label banner with Wonder Woman Dead Earth. It'll bring you to tears. Beta Ray Bill limited series. I know a lot of people discovered Daniel Warren Johnson on that, which out of all of his works is by far his weakest one. And it's still a solid 8 out of 10. It's really good. And he got announced for Transformers. I was so excited. And he's done a phenomenal job. It's gotten a lot. There's so many characters that get brought in. There's so many places with things going on. It can feel a little overwhelming trying to have a deep attachment or knowing which characters you're meant to have a deep attachment to. Obviously, Optimus, obviously our main human protagonist. But beyond that, it's a little bit tough because of how much they do and how much is going on. But the last little build up here to the finale, it kind of all got in a line really good. And they delivered this epic finale with the penultimate issue going into the Matrix, talking with Spike's dad, who sacrificed himself early on, whose essence was in the Matrix with Optimus, and it was a moment. Optimus coming out, facing off with Megatron, pulling the Jake Sully moment from Avatar 2, saying like, let's get this over with kind of thing. And the fight between Optimus and Megatron was brutal. It was tough. It got some redemption for some other characters along the way inside of it. Starscream had his moment, so I know that Flash by Night Comics was well catered to. He got his justice, went out like a true villain in the best way possible. But it was really good. I liked it a lot. And then this new Transformer that was created on Cybertron out of Carly, one of our main protagonists, her van comes in and saves the day. So Daniel Warren Johnson kind of got his own little original idea in there and had its big moment. The next issue, it's not restarting the storyline. It's not restarting from an issue number 1, but issue number 25 will be written by Robert Kirkman, the architect of the Energon universe, with art by Dan Mora. So I am beyond ecstatic to see what comes next. I think the timing is perfect. 24 issues that's a long time. That's 2 years.
Right.
2 years. Jorge Corona did a phenomenal job with the artwork, picking up right behind Daniel Warren Johnson. Very, very similar style that he drew it in. It was good. I found Eerie number 1 in a CGC 2.5, but he wants way too much for it. That's an oldie. Comic Avon from 1947. How much does he want for it, and what about is the F&B on something that rare? It's hard to really sign an F&B to stuff that doesn't regularly get bought and sold.
Right.
But yeah, I was very excited with that. Next week, there's Transformer and Void Rival book coming polybagged that has a sound effects cover like the Godzilla Kong Justice League did from a few years back. So I'm a little torn on that. I kind of want to hear what they sound like firsthand, but stuff like that, those really fun gimmicks, they do got a little price tag on them. But I don't know. We'll see. $9,000
Wow.
for a 2.5. What's the FMB on it? Tell me we'll give him $50. See what he says.
Hey, if it's his best offer, it's like, hey, you got to accept it.
Anyone else offer you any money for it? Yeah. Are you reading the Elseworld stuff, the Gotham by Gaslight?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this was tough. A League for Justice. I can't believe this is only issue number 3 of this. It feels like we're so far into this story. I guess because it picked up directly behind just plain Gotham by Gaslight.
And they were in the end of the last Gotham by Gaslight. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that they put a different title on it because it made the little break feel like we weren't just abandoning the story and like it's a clear break. $1 no holler, exactly. But yeah, we got the whole crew together. They thwarted Lex Luthor in the first 2 issues. Lex unfortunately released General Zod. So now he's like the do-boy for General Zod, and the League is kind of reassessing what's going on and stuff. I'm loving this steampunk world that they're in. It's just the Wild West at this point. It's the Justice Gang. But they go back to Luthor's compound. They find what happened to Victor Stone there, steampunk cyborg. It's not steampunk. That's just the mechanics and stuff of the time era. But also they discover Jay Garrick and find out that he's been held there as a power source. And they Martian Manhunter has to get into his head because Jay wasn't even conscious. His body was just being used. And they now have the Flash on the team. So we have Alan Scott, Green Lantern, Jay Garrick, Flash, Cyborg, Martian Manhunter, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. It's a bang-up team. Their designs are awesome. It's just fun. Elseworld stuff is fun. Everybody who's read it knows why it's fun. Getting to experience familiar characters in unfamiliar settings. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. You got any more from this week?
One more.
I got that. Superboy, aka Action Comics, issue number 1090. What'd you think?
It was good. This is before they realized that they could make his suit from the blankets that he came with.
Yeah.
He was constantly running out of costumes in the most inopportune time.
Yeah. They were testing him, testing his speed, testing his skill. He's flying around the world getting clocked. And by the time he comes back from the friction of the speed, he pulls up naked in front of his parents, which is very embarrassing for a teenager. But yeah, also the villain that we meet in the first issue is back in this one. He goes to respond to a disturbance, and he gets to refight them. It kind of looks like it was an intentional setup by the government. General Lane is after him. We learn that Captain Comet is working with General Lane, his teacher that's been spying on him and figured out who Superboy is. So he's going to find out that the government's not his friend. General Lane's not his friend, not at this point in his life. And we're going to have to find out how much General Lane knows about Clark Kent, Kal-El, Superboy in the coming issues. Because this is kind of, it's not rewriting. It's not doing like all kinds of retcon stuff, but it's just going through the time era of Superboy, like the modern Superman. What was his Superboy years like? This is it. They do this from time to time, just give you a good Superboy story, and they retell the story. And there's little changes. It's not anything that breaks tradition with a character or anything like that. Ultimately, we know how it all ends because our modern regular Superman stuff is just all par for the course stuff. But it's still fun to see how it got there. The artwork is fantastic. It's being written by Mark Waid, and it's just fun. It's really wholesome. It's really well paced. I like that they're pulling out characters like Captain Comet and stuff like that. I want to see what they do more with that because he wasn't present in this issue, which was odd to me.
Captain Comet? Captain Comet?
Wasn't that his name?
Yeah, he was in this issue. He was in General Lane's office.
Oh, yeah, for a second. Yeah, he didn't go fight. He didn't go show up with Superboy or anything.
He didn't show up at school like he was supposed to.
Yeah, he was kind of missing in action. I also picked up Superman Krypton, the Kryptonite Spectrum. I started reading it, and then I put it down to do something. I didn't go back to it. I didn't want to drop this. It's not bad, but I just don't care. It sounds awful. I think the artwork is what really even like made me want to pick up number 2 because it's so kind of unique. It's that all red blend with quietly look to it that I just wanted to look at, but I just don't care. It's when we get too far out of continuity that just ain't doing it for me right now. So much is happening with the books that are in continuity that I'm super excited about. And believe it or not, I didn't get to my Godzilla stack this week. I haven't got there yet. It's been kind of a busy weekend. But I got Godzilla number 2 from the new Kaisei universe and Godzilla Here There Be Dragons number 4 of the finale to Frank Thierry's Here There Be trilogy. I'm so excited. I think that's the finale. It might be one more. So the final volume, I know that. But I'm excited for that. So those 2 to come. Yeah.
Do they have more 70th anniversary foil reprints coming?
I don't know. I never look ahead. I didn't even know those Transformer books were coming next week till I was up at the shop on Friday. I'm like, oh, look at that. I was looking at all the Lunar stuff that just came in and next week's books and stuff. I was going to go ahead and read the Deadpool Batman book. I wanted to see what all was in there. There's a bunch of backup stories and one that they haven't solicited yet.
Yeah, it's probably not, but that won't be Lunar. That'll be Penguin Brothers, probably because it's published by Marvel this time.
That's why I didn't read it.
Yeah,
because it wasn't there.
The November one will be Lunar.
Yeah. So it'll probably be tomorrow. Lunar comes in way before Penguin. It came in way before Diamond. Lunar's just on a I don't know, they're just on their game. I know every area is a little different, but around here, Lunar has been on their game since day 1 back in 2019. I know there goes Tokyo. Yeah, Kojira. Yeah, dude, I love my Godzilla stuff. You saw did I show you the picture of Finn?
Yeah, with his costume?
Did I show you the one with it on?
No, you just showed me the one I'm holding.
Yeah, we went to Walmart just after school, after I picked him up from school on Friday. I don't even know what we went for. I just didn't feel like going straight home. And the Halloween stuff was there as we were walking in. And we just naturally just walked right over to it. They started looking for their Halloween costume. And they were looking, and Finn saw a Godzilla costume and snatched up and said, "Oh, I'm done. This is it. But I just sent it to you. But yeah, so Finn's got his Godzilla costume. And the kids have a lot of costumes. They have like a big basket in their room where their costumes stay in it. And they'll throw on superhero costume stuff. So I don't know if they'll end up wearing it for Halloween or not. I hope we don't have to buy them a different costume because it's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there, Pops. Gamera.
Mm-hmm.
Love me some Gamera. But yeah, that was about all the books I got for this week. What did you think of Peacemaker episode 4? Season 2, episode 4. Halfway point here.
Liked it. Still not enough of Vigilante.
Yeah, there wasn't any.
More Adrian. He came in. He brought a door. That was the only thing he did in that.
We had Adrian, but no Vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got Peacemaker on the run. You know, he came out of the interdimensional folding closet to having his house raided by none other than Argus with the help of Judo Master and the brand new Red Saint Wild, the Bald Eagle Hunter. And it got a good fight between Peacemaker and Judo Master. We had Johnny Economist bust Red over the head and have him kind of go into cuckoo land. Do you think he might be attached to the Red?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought about it, but
yeah, he seemed cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs the whole time, but at the end of the episode, he sits down next to a fire and looks like he throws down some mysticism, and he's able to see through the eyes of an eagle and actually project himself into the eagle where he can tell where they're at and what they're doing. I guess that's probably what makes him a good eagle hunter. But it made me wonder: is he going to be tied to the Red?
You think Gunn's going to go with the red and the green and the blue? And
we know there's a Swamp Thing project coming.
Yeah.
And whether they say it or not, whether they tell the viewer or not, when you deal with Beast Boy, when you deal with Vixen, when you deal with Moana Beast, if you bring any of these, they're tied to the Red.
Right. The only thing that makes me think that it's not going to be tied to the Red is because it's very specifically for eagles. It's not tied to all of the animal kingdom, which I would assume the Red would be.
King Shark is tied to the Red.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. Remember they did that Suicide Squad King Shark special in 2020 for I think that one was for local comic shop day, but it was the kickoff to the Tim Seeley 5-issue series where they were having like a combat underwater to see who the champion of the Red was going to be. Oh hell, I almost forgot. I found a Tron arcade machine for a reasonable price. Whoa, that's banger.
Mm-hmm.
That's super banger. Yeah, there's this spot here in Augusta that I took, in Evans, Georgia, about 10, 15 minutes down the road. It's an arcade, old arcade cabinets, newer stuff. Like they have an Avatar pinball machine, but they have this awesome Tron pinball machine there. A lot of pinball machines, a handful of old arcade games. It's really fun. And they have all the machines set to where you can just go play them. You like pay by the hour. Do you want to hang out for an hour or two or kind of thing? It was really fun. Really fun. Well, they were able to move the interdimensional doorway. They're now in the woods. Red Saint Wild knows where they are, going to come hunting for them. We have Peacemaker brought Adebayo in, and she now knows where he's been, what he's been up to, what he's been doing. Not saying that she fully understands what he's saying or not, but he's trying to get back to that world where he's beloved, where he's with Harcourt. And I think he might take Adebayo with him, and that's when the cat's going to be out of the bag. When he shows up walking down the street with Adebayo, and everyone's like...
Yeah, because Grillo went to... Rick Flag Sr. Went to Harcourt, pressed her into helping them catch Peacemaker. And so Peacemaker agreed to meet Harcourt in a park. And so they're basically setting him up to try to capture him. And you have Adebayo and Peacemaker going there with basically Harcourt and the U.S. Army waiting for Peacemaker.
Yeah, I think this is going to end with... this has got to end with all of them going through that doorway.
You would think.
I do. I think this ends with Rick Flag Sr. in that other world. It's got to, man, I think whatever we come up with, I think we're going to be selling ourselves short for what he has planned with episodes 6 and 8, like you said.
We got one more episode before supposedly we get to the episodes that James Gunn wouldn't show anybody.
Yeah, and I think that it's 6 and 8 because 7 is going to be the like 6 is going to be a huge reveal, and then 7 will be like everything kind of getting in place, and 8 will be the massive execution.
Mm.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of those Marvel covers. They all look like total trash, except the Captain America one. They look really bad. I was very bummed out. I wouldn't have bought them anyways. They kind of lost me when they put Marvel on them. I know I'm terrible. I'm excited for Tron though. I'm very excited for Tron. Yeah, I'm excited. We do need some Vigilante though. I think that we're going to at least get him toward the end. I think he's going to get to kill his doppelganger because he wants to. I'm sure.
Right.
Can you imagine if an alternate version of him is what he considers immoral?
Right.
He'll feel obligated to kill him. He'll have to.
He's going to ask him one spider question. He's going to get it wrong, and he's going to kill him.
Yeah, one spider question. How many eyes do they have?
Yeah.
Calls them all trash, but still says, I said I wouldn't buy them anyways, even if they were good. Yeah, dude, keep in mind, I managed to not buy a single, not near one of the Marvel Godzilla covers.
Mm-hmm.
I avoided every single one of them. I picked up the Hulk one because it goes in the Hulk run, no matter what, keeping the Hulk run complete. And then I didn't even read it; just put it in there. But yeah. That was like the biggest exercises in self-discipline with comic books I've done in years. He said, sorry, subtitles for YouTube said different. Yeah. And then Alien Earth, I'll be honest with you, it was Alien Earth wasn't a bad episode. It felt like a hard shift from that last episode. I really, really liked the last episode, and we kind of bounced back into our primary story. We get the two corporations talking litigiously about what to do with the crash ship, and then ultimately back on the island, get a little bit of exposition, and then the specimens finally start to break out. We have one of the hybrids doing some bad practices, and the little flying creatures get out and destroy him. And we have the other hybrid who managed to get the doctor in the room and get a face hugger on him, and he's starting to smuggle him out into the jungle. So they're all on their way out the door at this point.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that happened in that episode, which is totally foreshadowing and foreboding, is when Wendy's talking to that doctor that wiped the mind of the other one, and they're talking about and they're talking about. And she says, "Well, you got to help me, whatever, like help solve the problem." And Wendy says, "Well, what if you're the problem?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, Metal. That last episode was amazing. This one felt like a little bit of exposition and positioning for real. Peacemaker and Alien Earth both felt like we were kind of like at pivot points where we were moving to like almost like the next story arc. So it was like a layover episode that required shifting and moving a lot of characters and aiming them in the direction of the next story arc, specifically with Peacemaker, because that brought in it was kind of like a mirror episode to episode 2 when episode 2 got the 11th Street gang back together. This one kind of got all of our Argus players together, from Red Saint Wild, Judo Master, Rick Flag Sr. coming out of the office and putting them all in place to move in on the plot. And that's what this alien felt like. They asked the medic brother who is not gainfully employed by Prodigy, who's just there to babysit the sister for experimenting purposes. Hey, it's time for you to go out with the 6'4" hired hit team that we have running security around the proximity. It's your turn to go out on patrol with them. Wait, what? And then while on patrol, they're just walking through the woods. He's like, so why don't anyone just show up at the island? Oh, we're too far out for boats. So we're too far out for this. We're that isolated. Well, how does anyone ever get out of here? Well, now that you mention it, this path that happens to be right next to us, right as you mention it, if you go right down there, there's a loading dock and I'm like, okay, so we'll be going down there in future episode. And so it just seemed like a little bit of that kind of stuff, which is fine. It doesn't take away from it. You watch enough television and movies and stuff, you notice when they're just, we got to say this so later it makes sense. So later you'll know why this character knew where that was and this and that.
Yeah. And on Peacemaker, Tim Meadows got his bird thing. Like,
bro, this was
by that parrot.
Yeah. Shit, Ginger, cool. You're hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching John Economos and Judo Master banter back and forth was hilarious. Watching John Economos lose his patience with Tim Meadows' Agent Flurry was hilarious. He just straight spits on him,
Yeah.
just out of left field. I'm like, oh, God. Yeah, it was good. It was an enjoyable episode.
She just winks because that means we're all in it together.
We're all in this together. Fantastic. Yeah, it was good stuff. Would you got anything else you want to hit on tonight? Might end up calling it an early night.
I don't think so. We went through all of our books. It was good to do the books first this time.
Yeah, it just naturally happened that way. Yeah, I wanted to avoid talking about news.
Yeah.
I'm refraining heavily from talking about Red Hood. I'll save that for my Tuesday stream. See how things go between now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Get ready for the week tomorrow. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Go peeking on the Emmys and see what's going on with that. Have they got the Penguin stuff yet?
No.
That's ultimately what I want to know. Is that all going to end up being saved for some of the last categories or something?
Yeah.
Best actor, best supporting actress. This without category, right?
No, they'll do best actress and best actor in a drama. Then they'll do it in a miniseries, and they already did the best actor in a comedy because that was
yeah. Have they done best makeup and stuff like that yet?
Yeah, they did those. They have a separate night where they do what's called the creative Emmys.
Well, that's
so they do some of the
demeaning.
They do some of the well, it would be like an 8-hour show. And the Boys and Girls Club would never get any money. Which, by the way, it's down to like $74,000. By the way,
they're still up there just rambling. They don't care, man. They do not care. That's crazy.
Oh man, it's going way down. It's down to like $46,000, and it's like on screen, like going down like $1,000 right down, and they're still talking.
Who's up there talking?
It was like the producers of a miniseries or something, or producers of a drama.
It must be nice to have so much money that you think the amount of money that he put up there means that little.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, I'm sure at the end he's probably just going to say, "I'm going to give $1,000 anyway." But,
you know that he was the highest paid comedian in 2024.
Yeah,
dude,
he was on earlier. It. Yeah, he just broke records for the largest gate of a comedy series in Denver this past weekend.
Nice. Yeah. What's that kid's name?
Matt Rife.
Yeah, he does a lot of like crowd work and stuff. He just broke record at in his hometown stadium. It was previously set by Dane Cook, and a lot of people don't know, but Dane Cook is the reason why Matt Rife is a comedian. Mm-hmm. Matt was a teenager watching Dane Cook, saw a Vicious Circle where Dane sold that out, and used to write him. Mm-hmm. And Dane Cook took him in under his wing early on and stuff, and got him in on the comedy scene, and that was awesome. I loved Dane Cook when I was growing up. He was like, what a massive splash that guy made. Made some really funny movies too. Good Luck Chuck, and the one where they worked at like Sam's Club. God, that was fun.
Yeah, and then he pretty much like disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last year he did a comedy special from his house. It's actually on his YouTube channel. It's really good. It's not like Vicious Circle good. It's really, really more personal and stuff. But yeah. Well, love me some comedy stuff. Mm-hmm. If you're a fan of comedy, you have to be a fan and you have to not have a delicate sensibility. But everyone at this point, I feel like everyone knows about Kill Tony, the live comedy show that airs on Mondays. But 2 Mondays ago, Darnell was back on there, famous for his work on the Chappelle Show, being one of Dave Chappelle's fans. I'm rich, bitch, honk honk. The guy who said that famously made it into like the produced by and thing, and you hear his voice over it. He was one of the most. He's listed as like one of the worst guests ever because he's like constantly interrupting people, not following the format of the show, letting the people have their 1 minute and stuff. And he ended up getting offended and left one show. And he was on an episode of Rogan where Joe called him out about leaving the show, asked him about it, and he lied to Rogan about why he left in real time. And on the show, in real time while they're recording, Rogan just like, why don't we just ask Tony? And he calls Tony on speakerphone, and Tony's like, dude, you're lying. Nothing you're saying is true. And they're all laughing about it. It kind of embarrassed him, but he came back. Mm-hmm. He came back on the show, so it was like his return. So everyone's kind of on edge. I I recommend anybody just go watch like Darnell leaves Kill Tony, just watch the little highlights of that, but then go watch it. And he was on with Rob Schneider, who's controversial to some because he's conservative, and that somehow is controversial to people. But Rob Schneider is Rob Schneider, the same Rob Schneider you've known from Happy Madison forever. So it's Rob Schneider and Darnell and Tony and Red Band. And surprisingly, this is like the perfect blend of comedians at a table together. And it was one of the funniest shows ever, dude. It was so good. It was so good. It was, I think you're expecting a crash and burn, and it's just you're like, wow, this is actually really hilarious. Darnell still gets pretty long-winded. And somebody in the comment section under it actually went in and documented how many times everybody at the table interrupted during the entire multi-hour show. Like how many times Tony interrupted and all the timestamps, Rob, all the timestamps, Darnell, and Red Band, because everyone just clowns on Darnell. Yeah, Darnell Rollins, yeah, for interrupting. And it's just funny, man. Just like with anything else on YouTube, especially live stuff, like it's like a sense of community that gets built around it with the reoccurring guests and comedians and stuff. But it's just a fun show. If you need to laugh, to let off some steam, that's the place to be on Monday nights. That's for sure. Yeah, I did. Cam Patterson made it to SNL. He better show up with the rocks in his pocket too. Yeah. There's some really, really, really funny comics on there. I'm really loving this era with Tony No Breaks right now. This has just been when he first showed up on the show, I thought he was just like a cheap Dice knockoff. And they even asked him. Like, "Would you watch Dice one time?" But then once you understand his gimmick, it's just one of the funniest things ever. Yeah. Adam Ray is hilarious, and go watch. Because he's got a lot of different personalities. When he plays the little nerdy dude, he does the podcast interviews as the little nerdy dude, and he interviewed No Breaks, and it's freaking hilarious. And he just did a special, Adam Ray, on his behind his paywall, where he was a Hollywood mentalist, and he has some guests on and stuff. But it aired on YouTube finally this past week, and it's freaking hilarious. The Adam Ray stuff is really funny. He just does characters, and he's really good at all of them. But funny stuff. Laughter's the best medicine. But I appreciate everybody coming, hanging out. Paul and myself will be on his channel tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., deep diving into the absolute universe at DC Comics. And then Tuesday, I'll be live right here for the new DC Day, talking all things DC Comics. Might not get a little bit into the weeds with all the polarizing stuff that's happened with that recently. I know everybody has an opinion. Myself included in that. And I think tomorrow is the Royal Mail video. Yeah, that one's coming out, talking about the new duties and taxes on international mail. Yeah. And the second half of that, I prolonged that video by a week because Tron Legacy releases this week. So we'll see what happens, because there'll potentially be a second half to that video, depending on how things go Tuesday. I'm hoping that I'm able to just race to the store early in the morning, get a copy, and cancel the online order. Mm-hmm. But if that's not the case, if I have this online order come, it'll be coming from overseas. I'm trying to intentionally trigger what's the word? The what is that was taken away, the $800
de minimis.
I'm trying to trigger that and see what the cost is. Just voluntarily have to pay that on just some basic items, making sure I ordered more than one item.
Well, the de minimis is gone. So that's,
yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, but the thing is, with every country has a different standing relationship with us based on all kinds of things. It's impossible to get into. And as soon as you understand it, just blink your eyes and it's changed.
Yeah. But the old one was anything coming into our country. Mm-hmm. It was basically, doesn't matter what country it was coming from, as long as it was valued at $800 or less.
There's no tax or duties on it.
Exactly.
But now there are.
Right.
But those tax and duties attached to it are 100% based off of the country of origin and their specific relationship with us, based on. And it can change that quick too.
Right.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I honestly don't care, to be honest with you. If I wanted to, anything I wanted, I could just order on eBay. Because despite once in a blue moon ordering internationally, this is still America. And that still means we have the biggest consumer economy on the planet. And 90% of what anybody will ever want, you can purchase from already in the States. CGC messed up both my books I dropped off at Heroes Con. My goodness, I see why people are going to PSA sucks. Burke, I can confirm you have the worst luck with CGC. You like this isn't on you, Steve. Not on you at all. I think you were right that time that I heard you say I think they don't like me. I don't know what it is, but me, Paul, anybody in the Burke fam have actively watched every single one of your orders for years have something wrong with them. Bengate, Newton rings, mislabeled. Like we've seen it all with you. We watched it happen. I'm not surprised they messed it up. It's still crazy, but never in a million years at this point in time would I suggest PSA. And I don't think anyone's switching to PSA. I think the same people that want to just try it out or be the first ones. The usual amount of stuff, what you would see with any new grading company. Yeah, PSA, I fundamentally disagree with their practice with comic books as of right now. I think it's harmful to the established industry. We're not going to do 9.6s. What? Yeah, we're not going to do 9.9s either. It's just a 10. It's a 10 or a 9.8 or a 9.0. Doesn't make any sense. My TMNT last running book came back with scratches on the inside of the case. Unreal. Yeah, I tried Polywatch just to make sure, and yeah, man, it didn't do anything, obviously, because it was on the. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think they went outside and rubbed it on the sidewalk and then encapsulated your book. They do some weird stuff with your stuff, man. I didn't submit anything to them in 2024. I'm sitting there with my credit right now. I'm glad I need to cancel my membership with them. There's really no point in me keeping when I want something slabbed, I buy it slabbed 9 times out of 10 anymore. With the value of books in 2025, there is no reason to self-submit anything at all, unless it's just for aesthetic purposes. I just want it slabbed so I can display. Like it's counterintuitive to the value with especially modern books. There just not a lot of them with that kind of improvement on its value with it having it slabbed that makes the price worth it. Steven said he just sent me the picture. Let's check it out. I want to check it out. Is this a new TMNT book? Yeah. Oh no, this is your brand new Bartling, bro. Oh, and that remark is so gorgeous too. See, you mind if I put it up on the screen? Just so you know, I'm only asking out of trying to be courteous. No matter what you say, I'm still in the process of doing it. Even if you say no, keep in mind I asked first. I don't think we'll be able to see it good. Bro, that's terrible. I can't see the scratches or damages on it, but that's not the first time that they've done that to you either with the scratches. I remember when God, it had to be over 2 years ago now, right? See where you ordered that product, the product to try to get it. What is it called? Get it
Polywatch. He was talking about it before, right?
Yeah, because I remember it was Austin or somebody that suggested the poly stuff to rub it down, to rub it good.
Oh, that's something different, actually.
I don't think it is. Yo, where the heck? These pictures. Dude, I can't get this picture to come up any bigger than that. Oh, man. I was trying to get the picture up bigger, but I can't even find my screenshots in here now. It really hates adding pictures after the fact for some reason. There we go. What in the heck? It won't let me pull the screenshots in. Oh, well, that's as good as I can get it right now, man. I'm sorry. Drag the desktop, then open it, and then zoom in. Don't tell me how to live my life. I don't know what any of those words mean, buddy. Just being honest. But yeah, that sucks, man. I hate it for you. That remark is gorgeous, and I love the color of the signature. It balances well with Master Splinter there. Yeah, I'm with you, John. Sounds like a lot of work. Have you reached out to him yet, Steve?
Probably not, because he says he's doing the video tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, no, you might want to maybe have like one of the communication and feedback is a separate video. That's weird. Steve's never had problems with CGC. Minhunter did a great breakdown about raw slabs being almost identical. Yeah. It's just because when I want a book, I look it up. How much does this book cost? How much is it worth? And I think that a lot of that isn't because we are in a market where the values of slabs are just down. I think what's happened is because of slabs and the COVID bubble, that people stopped pricing raw books differently. Because you have all these pricing guide resources like Cover Price, Go Collect. What's the big one that all the dealers use? Yeah, GPA. They use common GPA. And all of these sites give you the values based off grade of the book. And it's not the raw grade, it's the slab grade of the book. You can go to Cover Price and they'll give you the slab grade and the raw grade separate. No one ever looks at the raw unless you're trying to buy. Sellers look at like, okay, I think that this raw book, this is probably a 5.5. 5.5 sell for this, but that's not slab, bro. That's not a guaranteed grade. And it's just become the norm. It's just a naturally gone in a dishonest position. And people don't want to come off of those raw books for any cheaper. It's just inflated raw prices. I just opened it today. Reach out tomorrow. Yeah, keep us posted, man. I'm definitely curious. They've been pretty good about trying to get you right, make you whole. Me personally, I've got and I don't know if I have any slabs that have scratches on them. I think I might just be one of those people that don't. I'm not saying anything about you and how you want your books, but I don't think I'd give a shit enough to notice, to be honest. Unless there's like an actual crack or break in it, I don't think I've ever inspected a slab for scratches. And I don't even bag up most of my slabs. I just stack them raw. Like, maybe no, that rubbed off. I don't know. Maybe I've just been lucky. I don't know. Rick Flag, baby. Cool rock. It's funny, the things that we talk about are always in arm's reach. You know what I'm saying? Like 181. Just always in arm's reach. All right, let's make like a baby and head out. Make sure y'all check out the stuff that we talked about earlier. Like, subscribe, hit that join button, become a channel member. Check out the merch store down below. It's always great ways to help out, support the channel. The Legion Loot this month, I'm building out as we go. I got a collected edition that I ordered, one of the DC finest that slipped through the cracks on me, and I got curious and I looked to see when it was coming out. Found out it came out early on, and for whatever reason, it's like one of two that hasn't made it to the store. So I ordered 2 copies, one for the Legion Loot this month and one for myself. I definitely don't buy all of them. They've done like 30. There's like 30 of these out already, dude. There's a lot. But it's one that belongs here, and I definitely want it to read as well. But yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have it here to show off for next week and start showing stuff off along the way. Appreciate everybody coming. Until next time, as always, I'm Mark. That's Paul, but we are Legion.
Only one of us has a parachute. Good luck. Ah!